Hello everyone, and welcome back to Old Charles. If you love coins, currency, and numismatic history, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the story of the Canada 1 cent coin from 1908. Is it just pocket change, or could it be worth more than you think? Let's find out. First, let's take a closer look at the 1981 Canada 1 cent coin. This coin features the famous maple leaf twig design on the reverse, created by G. Kruger Gray, and the obverse showcases Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machine. Country Canada denomination 1 cent year 1981 weight 2.8 grams diameter 19.05 mm plain. It's a small coin, but it has a big place in Canadian coinage history. The 1981 Canadian penny was part of a long tradition. Canada started producing 1 cent coins in 1905, and the maple leaf design has been a national symbol for decades. In 1981, Canada was undergoing political changes and economic shifts. This little coin was in the hands of people across the country during an important time in history. Over 1.2 billion 1 cent coins were minted in 1981, making it one of the most common years in the series. But even among billions, there are rarities and collectible conditions worth knowing about. Alright, let's talk value. How much is your 1981 Canadian penny actually worth today? In circulated condition, most 1981 1 cent coins are worth only their face value, 1 cent. But because they're 98% copper, they have a higher metal value. As of 2025, the melt value for the copper alone can be 2 to 3 cents, depending on the market. However, melting pennies in Canada is illegal, so they're more valuable to collectors. In uncirculated condition, the value rises. 1981 Canadian 1 cent coin in mint state, Amas 62 Amas Passat, can be worth 1 to 5 CAD, depending on the coin's luster and strike. Graded coins from professional services like ICCS or PCGS, especially at 66 or higher, can fetch 10 or more, though those are rare. Now here's where it gets exciting. Coin errors and varieties. While 1981 isn't famous for rare errors, collectors have reported a few interesting finds, like die cracks, double die obverse off-center strikes and coins with planchet flaws. These error coins can sell anywhere from 10 to over 100, depending on the severity and appeal to collectors. So how do you know if your 1981 penny is worth more? Condition is key. Coins with minimal wear, bright red color, and no scratches are more valuable. Look for mint luster, shiny, untouched surfaces often mean uncirculated quality. Check for errors. Use a magnifying glass to spot doubling, cracks, or die marks. Get it graded. Professional grade can confirm value and help you sell it for top dollar. Also, if you have a roll of 1981 pennies untouched since minting, those can be worth even more to the right buyer. Even common 1981 pennies are being collected for their copper content. With the Canadian penny no longer in circulation since 2018, interest in older coins has increased. Collectors, stackers, and even artists are gathering copper coins. So 1981 pennies in great shape are becoming harder to find. Some collectors even build full cent collections from 1920 to 2012, so 1981 plays a role in completing that set. So, is the 1981 Canadian penny rare? No. But can it be valuable? Absolutely. Especially in top condition or with unique errors. It's a perfect example of how everyday coins hold history, value, and interest far beyond their face value. Whether you're a serious numismatist or just starting out, check your jars, wallets, and drawers. You might just find a little copper treasure hiding in plain sight. To really appreciate the 1981 Canada 1 cent coin, let's take a step back into history. In 1981, Canada was a country in motion. Pierre Trudeau was Prime Minister, Inflation was high, and the Canadian economy was adjusting to a rapidly changing world. Even in the middle of these big events, small things, like the humble penny, remained part of daily life. The 1 cent coin in 1981 continued a long legacy of Canadian coinage that began all the way back in 1858, when the first Canadian pennies were struck under British rule. Over the years, the design changed, but by the late 1930s, a symbol of national pride, the maple leaf, became the defining image of the Canadian cent. The reverse design of the coin, created by British artist G. E. Kruger Gray, features two joined maple leaves on a single twig. This design first appeared in 1937 and continued through 2012 when the penny was officially discontinued. The obverse side of the 1981 coin bears the image of Queen Elizabeth II, which was sculpted by Arnold Machine. This particular portrait was used from 1965 until 1989, showing the Queen wearing a tiara. In terms of production, 1981 over 1.2 billion pennies minted, one of the highest outputs for the denomination at the time. This was partly due to high demand from circulation, as cash transactions were still dominant in the economy. Interestingly, the coins were struck at both the Royal Canadian Mint in Ottawa and at facilities in the United States to meet the large production volume. However, there are no mint marks on 1981 Canadian pennies to distinguish them. While the 1981 penny wasn't rare in its time, today it represents the end of an era. As Canada moved closer to digital payments and inflation continued to rise, the cost of producing the penny began to outweigh its usefulness. Canada officially ended the use of the penny in 2012, meaning the 1981 1 cent coin had over 3 decades in circulation. Many Canadians today remember using this exact coin in their childhood or early working years. So while it may be small in size, the 1981 Canadian penny holds a rich history, from royal portraiture to national identity, and even the evolution of how Canadians spend money. Now that we know the history, let's talk about what really affects a coin's value: its condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coin collectors use a special system called the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from poor, P8, all the way up to mint state, +70. Flawless surface, sharp edges, and brilliant shine, often graded by professionals like ICCS or PCGS value. Thus Canadian dollar or more. Rare and desirable for collectors, take a good look at your coin under light or magnifying glass. Does it shine like it's fresh from the mint? Or has it seen decades of use? Look especially at the fine details, like the Queen's hair, the veins in the maple leaves, and the rim. These spots show wear first. Even though the 1981 penny is common, coins in mint condition or with unique features can be worth far more than face value. So check your coin carefully. You might be holding hidden gem.